Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Hypocrisy. I'm your host, Razan, and today I'm joined by.
Hey guys, I'm Ahmed,
Hi guys, I'm Lana.
Hey guys, I'm Fatima.
and today's topic is going to be about time. It's a very vague topic, so we're going to be going through it within like multiple different subsets, I guess. So, first, like, what do you guys think of when you think about time? I personally think of change, like time as a measure of change, if you know what I mean. Like, anytime we mention time, like, oh, for example, a year ago, we usually use it for like something that's changed a year ago. Um, And like there's this interesting quote in a TV show I watch. It's like change is the only constant in the universe. And that's like really interesting because like everything is continuously changing. And the only thing you can depend on is the fact that everything will change. And that's the only constant.
But then that doesn't make time a constant. It makes change a constant, but not time. Does that make sense?
I mean, yeah, I know, but like what can we use to,
Yeah, it
yeah.
does.
And what's the unit of that constant? Time.
Honestly, I don't think of time. Like, it's just not something that occurs to me. I think we all take time for granted just because we always feel like, even though sometimes we feel like we're running out of time, it just feels like we have our whole life ahead of us. And in reality, life is really, really short. Like, we measure things and we say, like, if we want to exaggerate, we'll always be like, oh, it's going to take me like 10 years, 20 years. But in reality, that's like nothing. You have like
Yeah.
60 to 80
Some
years and
people
then
say,
you're dead.
yeah, true. Some people say that the two most important warriors are time and patience. But I believe that patience is a waste of time. Like being patient is wasting your time.
Literally, if something doesn't serve you, like, just leave it. Like, I don't know why people just try so hard. And it's just like, not just even like relationships or friendships. I think sometimes people think that, like, working really, really hard and putting everything you have into something makes it really good. And while that is true in most cases, a lot of people don't realize that what they put all their time and effort into it's not worth it. Like, it doesn't even matter.
I mean, genuinely, like when it comes to like what you focus your time on, I just believe like you should be the main focus, okay? You should spend all of your time around yourself. And as selfish that may sound, it, you should be that selfish. I'm sorry, but like if you don't look out for yourself, who's going to look out for you?
Exactly. And especially if you're young, like, even though we think that, like, our life is, like, pretty hard or there's, like, a rough patch in our life, we really don't have that many responsibilities. It's your time to be selfish and do things for you that only serve you. And now I'm not telling you to go out of your way to hurt others and be, like, genuinely selfish with everything in your life, but it is your time to be selfish because in the future, you're gonna have so many other factors that influence your decisions. But right now, all you have to think about is what you want and value
Yeah,
that.
that's true. And some people say you're too young. When some people say you're too young to be thinking about your time or too young to get hurt by something. But I feel like this is how we're gonna learn by time. You're gonna learn that if you get hurt when you're 10 and it actually hurts, and someone tells you, no, that's not supposed to hurt you, you're still 10, you're too young to think about that, or something like that.
That's just
That, like,
stupid.
just shows that, yeah, it's selfish because people only think about what hurts them, not what
And
hurts the people around them. And like if I am 10 and I get hurt by something, then it hurts me. And okay, maybe when I grow up and experience something that hurts more, I'm gonna realize how stupid that was. But right now it hurts me, and I am thinking about my time right now.
I mean, I guess the thing is like the word selfish, I think people use it in a bad way because they always associate it with toppling over others for your own happiness. But like that's not what selfish means at all. Like in the case of loving yourself and taking care of yourself and spending time with and on yourself. Because like your way to happiness, when we say love yourself, when we say focus on yourself, that does not mean just, throw everyone under the bus for your own sake. No, that's not what it means. Because
Yes, but some people don't understand it like that. Like, I agree with you, but it is called being selfish when you want to throw people under the bus for your own good, or when you don't think about people, or else it wouldn't be called selfish. But if you don't think about other people and only think
But
about your
like,
own good, then yes, it is called being selfish.
the way I it is this, like, imagine that you as a person, you're a company, okay, and you have a certain amount of money. Now, wouldn't you invest all of your money in your company that will not only grow in the future, not just to give you more money, but just to create something of yourself? Would you go and spend your money on useless things, or would you go and spend your money on other people? Maybe you'd have a small portion of your money that's like gifts for friends and family, or like eating or going out, but only the necessities. You care about people when it's necessary, but you need to stop going out of your way to help people that won't even help you about you. You need to invest in yourself so you future.
okay, so I guess a good way to put this is that, like, you do help yourself, you do work on yourself, you do love yourself, you go out of your way for your own self. But when it comes to other people, of course help them out, of course be there for them, but don't hurt yourself or put yourself down for others, because that's just destroying your self-worth. The only people you should be doing that for is your family, because you're actually indebted to them. And that's only up to a certain stage. Even after that, it's debatable what you're going to do, what you're not going to do.
I don't think we're in debt of our parents because we didn't choose.
Choose to be born.
Exactly.
Yes.
I
Like,
mean,
oh
they're
my God.
parents. This is their responsibility. They have to pay for you. They have to give you
They
they have to give you shelter, food. This is just like
exactly.
they chose this. They chose to be parents. They chose this life.
Or
Exactly.
Yeah,
or they
And
could have
like,
just given birth to you and thrown you onto the street, but they didn't, out of kindness, out of love.
but
that's
then
not
why
a
did
But
they
that
have
bad.
is
children in
their
the
Exactly
first
job.
what
place?
they were.
Exactly.
We
Why did they
always
have
Listen,
support
listen,
children if
her.
this is not what they
listen,
wanted?
listen, listen. Biologically speaking, literally a parent would only have to like take care of a child for like until the age of 7, let's say.
Then do
But they
that.
t- but they take care of you until like
I know,
26
right?
here. Like, come on, not 7.
Ahmed, not all of our
Ahmed, we
parents
all
take
hate our
care of us
parents here.
until we're 26. And let me just say this, like, parents will, like, not all parents, but some parents will go like, "Oh, well, I feed you, I clothe you, I put a roof over your head." Like,
Exactly.
thank you,
They make
Mr.
you
Bare
feel like
That's your
Minimum.
responsibility. You're supposed to
But you
do that.
Y'all sound so
know,
ungrateful right now. Oh my god.
do.
No, but
bro,
it's
I
just
swear to
how
God,
it
Ahmed, that was
is.
so unnecessary. You didn't have to say that.
The thing you said is that so many people will convince you that you're being ungrateful. Like, don't get us wrong. We're very grateful that they're doing this for us. But they shouldn't hold us accountable. We shouldn't be indebted to them. Like, we are great. You can be grateful. You can appreciate things without feeling like you have to like spend your whole entire life making up for it.
Or
Yeah,
feeling
You
guilty
I
for
mean,
it
appreciate
because you
them.
didn't choose it.
It's
Listen,
not
but
even
at a
about choosing
stage,
it.
at a stage in your life,
Uh-huh.
they were taking care of you and everything. Your mom was staying up until like 6 a.m. taking care of you.
Uh-huh.
And they wouldn't even get a thank you from us or anything, or like, oh,
Well,
But
I
just a
think
Ahmed,
that's
smile.
if
partially I think
Instead,
that's partially because
instead,
we couldn't speak. And
okay,
second of
listen,
all,
listen, listen. Or we couldn't understand it. But instead, what we'd give them is we we literally poop for them or whatever. But see,
Ahmed, if a
listen,
person gets pregnant and they know exactly what's coming for them, they know exactly that they have to change diapers, they know they have to feed, they know they have to stay up all night, they know exactly what's coming for them. That's why they shouldn't like make you feel like you are doing something that's
I'm
out
not
of the
saying they
ordinary.
should do that. I'm just saying you should be grateful to them.
who said that
Yes,
we're
we're
not?
obviously
not.
grateful.
Of course, we are
Okay.
grateful to our
And
parents, but we're
I'm
not
saying,
necessarily in
You
debt to
said
them.
I'm
yes in
also
depth.
saying they're worth putting down your self-worth for.
No one ever disagreed with you, but let me make this point.
Okay then, what the
In the future, as you grow older, let's just put it this way, as time passes by, since time is our topic, you become a lot more helpless. And in the future, our parents are going to get very tired and they're going to get old, and we're going to have to take care of them. But that's okay because that's a circle of life and we'd be happy to do it. It's we don't do it because we're indebted to them. We don't do it because we have to. We
Exactly.
do it because we want
Okay,
Yeah,
to
and
and because we
that
love
was the
them.
wrong way I put it. Okay.
It's okay.
it's
Apologize.
fine.
Exactly.
I take that back. I was correct and I am correct till the end. Okay, ahem.
Oh god.
And since we're talking about us being children, do you like ever realize that when you look back at your life, you think about how much easier it was to be a child, and that in 10 years you're going to look back at your life right now, and even though it seems hard and it's like the end of the world, when you look back at it in 10 years, it's going to be the same thing as like right now you looking back to when you were like 5 or 7 years old. And it just blows my mind.
True. And that's why
I
you
mean,
should enjoy your time and stop being in such a rush to grow up. Because you don't know the value of something until you no longer have it. And at the moment you realize that you're no longer a child, you'll miss it. You'll miss the simplicity.
Yeah.
You'll miss everything about it, you know?
And you
But
also
not
regret
everyone.
doing something or not doing something when you were a kid because you're like, oh, if I would have done it when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
no one would have noticed, no one would have said something. But now that I'm older, I
I mean,
need to act like I'm older.
I guess the thing is like when we're at this stage or like at any stage of life and we get like let's say advice from older generation, right?
Yeah.
We'll never understand. Like for example, we're always told you're wasting your youth.
Mhm.
But like I'm not 25 years older than I already am to know what my youth meant,
Yeah.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
no matter how
Exactly.
much I would have done in my youth, I would still be unhappy with it in 25 years. I feel like
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's what would happen
Yeah, it
anyway.
And I
makes
True.
sense.
a lot of people say that like you're smart if you learn from your mistakes, but like you're even more smart if you learn from someone else's mistakes. And I understand where they're coming from, but I don't know why people don't allow you to make your mistakes anymore. Like you are
Exactly.
supposed to make mistakes because that's when it's going to have value. If you just hear
Yes.
Exactly.
something and you hear about it, it's going to be in the back of your mind, but you've never truly experienced something and the side effects and the downfalls and the advantages to know if it's really worth it for you. And everyone's so
Yeah.
different. And so what's wrong for someone doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong for you.
I mean,
Exactly. That's very true because each person experiences something, like a thing that might have hurted you or had an impact on you may not have anything or any impact on another person. That's why like each person experiences each thing differently.
I mean, if can we bring up like personal experiences?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so like let's say like a month or 2 months ago when we were doing this podcast and like Razan would always mention self-love and taking care of yourself and being selfish.
Mhm.
I would literally never understand what she was on about. I was I would just sit there and listen. I'm like, well, why is she keep like why does she do this? But
Go.
like a few weeks back, you kind of meet people throughout your life and you make mistakes with them. Then you realize what Razan was saying about self-love. Then I realized how
Mhm.
much I hated myself. Like what was
Oop.
I doing talking to you? You know?
See, this is the lesson today here, folks. Razan is always right. And like that's the
That
bottom
is
line.
not. Oh my god,
Like
I just found a
even
new
if you think
No.
I'm wrong, even if you think I'm wrong at the moment, like 10 years later, you're gonna be like, wow, Razan
Yep.
is so
It's
right.
all about time.
It's all about Razan.
It's Razan's world. We're just living in it.
Period.
exactly.
Oh my god, let's talk about like advice that we've heard from Nazan because she's like, I'm kidding, like please don't take this seriously. Oh my god.
You want to rename this podcast Razan?
Does that?
Period.
Razan? You just want to do that? Okay.
Hypocrisy is the closest thing I can think of to Nazan, if I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, so like, see, like with time, all it took was a few weeks after Razan's constant babbling about self-love for me to actually understand what she was saying.
Mm-hmm. He's just
So
slow.
like,
He's slow, guys. It's okay. He just needed some
Yeah,
time.
it's
no,
fine.
I just didn't have any
See,
experience with it,
it's
so it was all
time.
like
It's all about
theoretical.
time.
No,
Yeah,
it
it's
was
all
all
about time.
theoretical.
You
I
took
didn't see it in
time.
practice. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You took time and you realized what was right and what was wrong. But it was your own time. You experienced it from your
Yes. So certain things
point of
happened
view.
within that time length, I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, Ahmed, what was the last thing you said?
Like experiences within time.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remembered. I was gonna say, like, you know how you talked about having bad experiences and stuff, and there's this thing I once read, and it goes like, rock bottom will teach you lessons that mountaintops never will. And I think that's
Mhm.
very, very true and accurate. You don't
It is,
really.
and it's also like people are so scared of like hitting rock bottom, but like the way
Mhm.
I see it, it's like if you hit rock bottom, you can only go up from there. Like it can
Exactly.
only get better. So take comfort in the fact that it's not going to get worse.
Hmm. I guess we can
And
also
just
say like,
appreciate it, no matter how
yeah,
beautiful or tragic a
Mhm.
moment is, it's always gonna end. So,
Exactly.
laugh a little louder, smile a little bigger, forgive quicker,
Or
you know?
not
and
the
I
good
would say like
quotes.
at like rock bottom, you truly
Mhm.
see every part of yourself. Like you
Yeah.
actually like you see the
Yeah.
raw, uncensored version of yourself.
Mhm.
Like you begin to see your
And then you
flaws. You
realize that you need so much censoring.
yeah, exactly.
What
And
else was
then,
I gonna say?
but that's what's good about rock bottom. From there, you can literally examine the parts. You can look at what's wrong with it. What do I need to do? What do I need to
Exactly.
do to pick myself
Yeah, and
up?
work your way up.
Exactly.
If you
Mhm.
asked me what I was most grateful for, I would say my bad days.
They make you value the good ones. Literally.
And they teach you so much about yourself.
Yeah.
You know, we always think that we're so like self-aware and just hyper aware of like everything that's happening around us. And we're really
Exactly.
not. But that's
We
kind of like
always,
the beauty of life is that you can never stop learning, not just about yourself, but just about the world in general. Because like
yeah,
now we think like I don't think I'm perfect, but I think I'm a little bit wiser than I was last year. But I know for a fact that next year when I look back at myself, it's just I'm gonna be like this idiot. You know?
exactly. And like that's a part of life.
Called growth.
Period, Queen.
I mean, I guess like the thing is, you know,
Hmm.
without darkness, you'll never know what light is.
Oh my god, please let's not repeat this, guys. We've said it in
Yeah,
like three
we've
podcasts.
literally said it in 55 podcasts, I think, by
Literally,
now.
let's just please
But
no.
but it's so necessary that you remember it. Like,
Hmm. Since we're talking about time, how do you think you're gonna die?
um,
Out of it.
I genuinely think I'll die in like the stupidest way possible.
I can see
Razan's
Fun.
gonna
that
get hit by a
happening
car.
to you.
I literally knew you were gonna say that, and that's so not true.
Razan's
Cars
literally gonna
stop.
get hit by a car. I don't care.
Ugh, if it's a
It's
good
gonna be
car, it's
me
fine.
if it's not anyone else.
It's gonna be. You're gonna be driving the car.
I feel
Yup.
like I'm gonna die in like the most embarrassing situation. I just don't know why. I just
Yup.
feel like
Fall
it.
off the stairs and just die.
Or worse, but we're not gonna talk about what worse is. Um,
Drinks.
Lana!
Lana! Oh my god.
I'm
Language!
joking. I
Please
know
cut
how
this
Fatima's
part
gonna
out,
die.
honey. What?
I know how Fatima's
Lana,
gonna
oh my
die.
god.
How?
Fatima's gonna literally like get killed by someone.
Oh my god.
What?
That's dark.
Yeah, I swear.
Why?
Like I just
What is
feel like
up with everyone?
she's gonna like
Fatima, Lana's gonna like hit me with a car and then just come straight to your
And
house.
come
Like,
kill
be
you. Come
careful.
kill me.
Literally.
no. I feel like
she's
Fatima is like
she's got it all planned out, man.
Hmm.
You do know I'm noting
Oh
things
my
down, right?
god.
Like I'm putting these, I'm noting things.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
okay.
No, no,
don't
it's
write my
it's good.
plan
It's
down.
just for the
Okay,
future. Don't
okay,
worry.
Ali.
Don't ruin
Okay,
my plan.
okay, Ali.
Don't expose me.
Yeah.
So
But
Lana's
no, I
And
feel like
killing
Lana,
us
we
and
have
Fatima.
it.
Ali's
Lana, we have this
blackmailing
in
us.
recording. We have it in recording, babe.
Yes, we do, love.
And
That's
after
not true.
5 years, I'll
Who's
play
Lana?
this clip for all
Bitch is
Ali, if
making this
I
Oh
scandal.
my
die, if
Yes.
god.
I die
Okay, Ali, shut up.
unexpectedly, it's Lana.
No,
Same,
it's gonna be
guys,
the
same.
tie-in.
Guys, same.
If I die in an
But what if
embarrassing
Lana dies
situation,
before all
Razan
of
knows
us?
why.
Oh, then
Oh
we
yeah.
killed her,
Then it's my
probably.
ghost.
Oh my
Okay.
god, guys! I watched a movie called "Ghosts of Girlfriends Past," and it was so cute.
Okay, back to
Okay.
the
What the
podcast.
hell?
Okay,
Okay,
I have something
okay.
to say. Okay, I guess so far we've just been looking at like the personal view of time, if you get what I mean. Have we talked about like the general global view of time? Like large time period, not just like 10 years or like 25 years or whatever.
Mhm.
Like come on, 100 years ago, let's talk about 100 years ago. Let's say pedophilia was normal. And now it's like the most horrendous act you can commit, right?
Wow, that conversation took a turn. Okay.
Yes. Hmm.
I guess so, but a lot of things aren't as socially acceptable as they were before, and a lot of things have changed. And I feel like it's because people are becoming more aware of their surroundings and how their words can have effects on people. And I think that's the beauty of time, it's evolution, whether it's biological evolution or just, our minds developing. I think a lot of people are more conscious about what they say, and if they're not, they get bullied into becoming more conscious about what they say. So I think that's okay. That's kind of cool.
I mean, all I want to know, what was the human race thinking when they just made like women inferior and men superior? Like, who decided that?
Okay, wait, let me just go on about a rant. Let me go on
Go
a
on
rant.
around. Okay.
Okay, so you know how men always say that, oh, women belong in the kitchen, oh, they're washing machines, oh, they're I don't know what. Like, they don't understand that the time frame they were picking this, like, I guess metaphor from is
Yeah, what
the
time there
time
was
that
war and die.
not just war, the time that men were expected to leave their house at like 7 in the morning, work all day, and then come home at like 8
Exactly.
p.m.
And what do
and
they
not
do
even
now?
see their
Nothing.
children. Exactly. If you wanna come and work all day from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., finance my life and finance the children that you are never going to see, then okay, call me kitchen, call me a dishwasher, whatever you want. But when you're not doing that, just relax. Like sit down.
And it was
Exactly.
also
Like,
the
what have
time
you
where
done with
they
your
were
life?
supposed to go to war and just die.
And
Like
now they just
period.
sit on PS4s and Xbox.
Yeah,
That's it,
And
exactly.
the
literally.
thing is that they think they're funny. And oh my god, like
Like
guys like this.
it's so stupid. Like their only humor is like characterized by like either their own selves or by pick me girls. I genuinely have failed to see anyone else who finds them funny when they make these jokes.
And they all follow the same people. Like they all find the same jokes funny and the same videos funny, and it literally blows my mind because the things they find funny are just they're
Zero
so
personality.
appalling. They don't
They
have any personalities. Let's just
And
go with
by the way,
that.
before any man victimizes himself, it should not affect you unless it hits home. Okay?
Exactly.
And also, like, can we just acknowledge the fact that men are wallets? Like, I'll be a kitchen if you'll be a wallet. Like, I genuinely don't mind.
exactly. If you buy me a nice kitchen, then I'll stay in it.
Oh my god.
Ah.
You guys sound like gold diggers all of a sudden. Well, I mean, men
Oh
can't exactly
god.
be expected anything else from, expect
Honestly,
emotional love. They'll give you, so just take the money, I guess.
Yep.
Why did I just on my whole like gender? I don't know
I know,
why,
right?
but
because you're
anyway,
self-aware.
yeah, probably that one.
Guys, I feel like the only like listeners we have are from our grade, and they're gonna hear it and know it's about them, and then we're gonna have like
Yeah.
zero listeners.
Why?
And
Who's
it's
gonna know
shady
it's
and we
about
Good,
love
them?
it.
good.
Why?
I'm
Literally
just
who?
kidding.
Because they talk about women in the kitchen.
Well, screw
Yeah.
them.
Period.
Actually,
Oops.
as dumb as like Neanderthalic the men in our grade are,
Mm.
they're still not bad as other people from other schools.
That's just because they're
No,
children.
no. Just let me tell you, I have friends who go to other schools in the same country that we are in, and they consider Instagram and like Snapchat to be for girls, and WhatsApp and Viber to be for boys.
You're
It's
kidding.
I'm not.
Okay.
I am
What
not
the
kidding. It is
fuck?
literally
Wow, we have even genders on Instagram and Snapchat now.
exactly like
Social media
stop
app.
it. Oh my
What?
god.
Oh
And
my
then when you
god.
say gender is a social construct, oh my god, what? Like
What?
you're literally
What?
contributing to it.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
Anyways, back to our topic.
Okay. So like
Ugh.
all of these things, they're a part of time. I mean, come on. Like ugh. Do
You
you
know
know what's
how we
ironic?
always say, oh, yeah, sure.
Do you know what's
enlighten us.
ironic? Like 100, 200 years ago, gender
Hmm.
roles were very minimal. Like there were very few things that could be characterized as strictly men and strictly women. And now, ironically, that we're also like aware and everything, there are so many things that are strictly men and strictly women. Like I don't get it.
I just feel like when we're trying to destroy social constructs, we're following a different type of social construct that's like, oh, stand out, be different, be the change you
Yeah.
want to see in the world. And it's just like at the end of the day, we're literally like not doing anything for us, and nothing that
Exactly.
we
Like
do
I
matters.
I was saying I feel like so many people waste their life and their time and just dump the responsibility on the notion of like fate and destiny, and it like gives them solace and
Uh-huh.
comfort that okay, I'm not reaching my goals, it's not destined to be like that. But like I don't know, what do you guys think about that?
I mean, I guess that's
Okay.
stupid because you genuinely or like your own destiny. So why the heck
Hmm.
are you the one to decide, oh, it's not part of it? Like, are you in the future looking back or something? No, you don't know. You have to keep trying.
It's so wrong to just sit back, relax, and wait for it all to like play out. Like if the question is whether you believe that everything is predetermined, I don't think I believe in that. Like
No,
not everything is just like I can't just sit back and wait for my life to just, happen.
no, I
I
do
think
believe
in a
in that.
way, I
To
think in a
To
way,
like
like,
an
everything.
extent.
Exactly. Everything is predetermined. I just think that you can control the way you get to it and how much you enjoy the ride. And I know what you think. And you think that, we should like put so much effort into our friendships and just relationships in general and just try our hardest and fix things. But I think the way that we view relationships and friendships it's a little bit broken. You know,
But
we
I feel
It's
think
like
just
if
that
you
about
have
that.
to put
Like
effort into a friendship
exactly.
or a relationship,
And it's not just about relationships. Like, I feel like the major portion of my faith is in my hands, and I can do things to get to where I want to be. I can't just sit and be like, okay, it's gonna happen when it happens. Like, no.
obviously not, but I'm just trying to say that the problem with a lot of people is that they try to take little things and drag them on to long-term things just because they experience something new that makes them feel
exactly.
Mhm.
happy and special and all of that. And I feel like instead
hmm
of wanting to like extend that
Oh,
period of time or that feeling, I'm
As
trying.
Razan said, live in the moment, don't think long term.
King, I'm literally trying to talk and you just cut me off.
Yes. Repeat it. Sorry.
It's okay. But I'm just trying to say that like when we experience something new and special, we try to hold on to it for as long as we can. And maybe instead of holding on to this feeling, we should appreciate it for as long as it lasts. Because like people don't understand that life isn't actually made up of long-term commitment. It's made up of moments, you know? Um an interest doesn't need to turn into a career, a relationship doesn't need to turn into marriage, a friendship doesn't need to last for forever. You know, if what you had was real and if what you had was special and magical, then it was magical. But that's what it was supposed to be, a magical moment, a magical part of your life. You know, we drag these things into long-term things and we ruin them. We ruin our memories of them. We ruin every single thing we have with them. And it's like, why? Nothing is forever, and people should understand that it's okay. And again, we promise forever in a world where even life is temporary, and it doesn't make sense.
Hmm.
yes, that's very
Doesn't
true,
make
Razan.
sense,
I
Like
guess. I
nothing
guess.
lasts forever. Nothing. The word
Literally.
And you
itself
Exactly.
is
shouldn't
Not even
just
our
try to
this.
lives,
make
not even
it
anything.
you
I
shouldn't try to
guess.
make it last forever.
Yeah.
You should
Because
always
like
put in effort. Oh,
I
like
think
sorry,
this
continue.
is where
trying to
yeah.
preserve a temporary thing or like a moment takes
Hmm.
away from its value, you know? Like for
Exactly.
example, like let's say you go on a trip and all you're doing is taking pictures. You literally didn't enjoy the trip. All you did was take memories. Like you're trying to make it last forever while when you were there you just weren't enjoying it. You're just taking pictures and busying yourself with pictures, right?
I
Hmm.
think this is where I believe in fate and destiny. For example, I don't know, let's say you got an exam and like obviously you can't just sit and just like think, oh, I'm just gonna like do the exam and see how it goes. Like you study for it, and then let's say, God forbid, you like get in a crash or something. Then that's where destiny comes in, and you weren't destined to like do the exam, you know? And I don't know about you guys, but I've been taught that everything happens for a reason. Like I always
Mhm.
try to have this mentality. Like my mom, she like taught me this actually. She always go like whenever I'd be like sad or disappointed that something didn't happen, she'd go like it happened for a reason, and it didn't happen because maybe something else that was better could have happened, or it
Yeah,
could have
something
gone
bigger is
worse.
waiting for you.
Yeah, or it
You
could
know,
have gone worse. And honestly, this mentality's really helped me ever since I learned about it. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
really
like a
nice.
lot of the times when we want something, it's different from what we need. And maybe it's even different from what we actually want, but at the moment, it feels like we want this thing. And I think time helps us realize that, that's not even what I wanted. I'm glad I didn't get it. I'm glad that I realized that, you know, like I was taken away from me. Does that make sense? Because if you really think about it, none of us really know what we want.
I guess the thing is, we always think we know everything at the moment. Like, we're so
Hmm.
smart. I'm absolutely correct about this. I want this, and it's 100% good for me. There's no way it can be bad for me. And then 5 minutes later, oh, now I see how it's bad for me. You know?
Hmm.
And like, literally, like that's where I am with my life right now. I feel so stupid. Like, genuinely, like I thought I knew everything. But now, like, when I connect and talk with others and like
Hmm.
go through things myself, I realize how
Yeah.
stupid I was and how much I didn't know. And like right now, I'm learning and everything's like
Constantly learning and growing, then it's
exactly,
fine.
I feel like
exactly.
whenever I say, especially to like older people, that I know what I want, they kind of just, even if it, like some of them do it in front of me, they'll just laugh. But other people, I feel like
Yeah.
everyone just has this thing in the back of their head where it's like, she's a
But I guess
kid.
that's
Like,
different. But that's different because they're
no,
pinning
it's
their own
not because
experience. Because they're pinning their own experience onto
okay,
you.
but what I'm trying to say is that I don't think I'm wise. I understand the fact that
Of
I don't
course.
really know anything, no matter how much I do know. At the end of the day, we all know nothing. And I feel like being self aware is a lot better than being wise or smart because not, you don't just know who you are and what you are, but you know your capabilities, you know your boundaries, and you can work to expand them. That's fine, that's good for you, but I think if you just get to know yourself, it'll make your life a lot easier.
I mean, like definitely it depends what you're saying in front of an older person for like their word to actually, affect you. Like let's say it's something you're going through and like they'll literally tell you, "Oh, come on, it's not a big deal. Just you're a little kid. What are you worrying about, right?" But like that's
It's
literally what
true
it
that others like others have bigger problems, but at that moment to
moment
you, it's the
your
biggest of
problem
your
seems the biggest.
problems.
Exactly.
Exactly. And it's like I feel like sometimes people are just inconsiderate about that, and they think
Yeah.
just because it's something so silly, then like
And
it's
I
nothing.
genuinely think like we all have different capabilities and different like extents to which we can handle things, right?
Yeah.
Like for example, someone is able to handle the trauma of like losing both their parents, living in an underdeveloped third world country, uh, you know, and a lot of other like disasters. But someone else living in a first world country would cry over the simplest thing that would happen to them. But that's not their fault. One of them has the capability to handle all of that, the other one does not, you know? Like no
Also,
two
I know
human,
that
yeah,
we live in a third world country, but like no matter like what we say, we are very sheltered in our community. You
exactly.
know,
We are.
even if we live in like Iraq, like we are
I
so
mean, come on.
privileged, and a lot of
We
people
just
don't even
complain about
understand
like
that.
what? Not being able to order online immediately. Like that's literally it.
Not having
Um
Amazon or shopping, like that's no, that's
But
exactly.
literally
that
That's
what we
doesn't
complain
but
about.
that doesn't make our problems like okay, it makes our problem less important for other people, or
Yeah,
so
Uh-huh.
much less than what other people experience. But it also, like, it affects us, like it's a problem to us, although it's not
because we
as big
haven't been
as
in
it
their
might be.
shoes. Like for example, our
Exactly.
parents, like
I'm
for
just
example, literally.
saying that don't go and say that that's such a first world problem when even we are
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
very
Oh yeah,
sheltered and privileged
exactly,
to like
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
know this.
Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
for
And like
example, for our
you're saying that
parents.
it matters to us, but like it should matter to us that there's children starving. It should matter to us that there's war crime. So many things should matter to us. Like we do not have our concern ourselves with like not concern ourselves, but take on everything that's happening in the world. But us saying that our problems matter because they matter to us, well, no, they shouldn't matter to us that much, or at least other things should matter more.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Mm. Like for example, like just because I haven't experienced all that you've been through doesn't like make my experience any less
Yeah,
traumatizing or like any less
less important
bad,
or
or
Valid.
any less exactly. Like for example, our parents, like in Kurdistan, for example, um, and I'm sure like many other people's parents, like our parents literally had to run for their lives, like um they literally had to run through the mountains while missiles were being like shot at them. Like for example, my dad saw like 14 people die in front of him. I have never been through the trauma of that. But obviously my dad's going to have more, you know, capabilities to handle that, but I don't understand. I have never experienced what he's experienced for me to belittle my own problem, right?
Exactly, but that's see, like you need to hear yourself talking because um
Yeah, that made no
I don't
sense.
mean
I
this in a
know.
weird way. No, I don't mean this in like a mean way, but like that is so like like you are so privileged to be able to say
Exactly.
that. Okay?
Exactly.
And
I am.
no, people who have been through worse do have the right to say that your problems aren't that important because if I saw 14 people die in front of me and I had to dodge missiles in a forest, then yes, you not being able to order online does not seem important at all. And it's just like when you're like going through something, let's say like you have anxiety and you have panic attacks, or let's say someone is going through depression, clinically diagnosed depression, and somewhat people around him will go like, "Oh, I just had a panic attack," or "Oh, I'm so depressed." Like they're just belittling what's happening to you and they're taking it in such a like normal way, and because you know how it feels on a real level, it triggers you and it makes you angry, and that is so understandable because everyone tries to like normalize things. Like you can say I'm anxious without saying I have anxiety. Like
Okay.
your words
Yeah.
just literally changing a few letters can make everything
And
seem
like
so different.
just because you were sad for like 1 hour this whole week, that doesn't mean you
Doesn't mean
have
you're
severe
depressed.
depression. Like
Exactly.
depression is literally a clinical case that needs to be diagnosed by a therapist.
exactly.
You don't just
And
go
feeling
around.
sad isn't being depressed. Feeling sad for an hour or two, or wanting to be alone for some time, is not called being
Has
depressed.
Oh,
nothing
by
to
the
do
way,
with depression.
fun fact,
Exactly.
psychological pain only lasts 12 minutes. The rest is just self-inflicted. Live with that. Think about that.
Well,
Live with the
speaking
fact
of
that you're a
depression
drama
and all
queen.
that,
Yeah,
there's this
exactly. We're all
thing.
drama queens. Literally, we're all drama queens in one way or another. We all exaggerate what's happening to us.
At least I'm a queen. Whatever.
Yeah, speaking of like depression and sadness and all that, there's this saying that goes like time heals everything.
Oh yeah, like in
And
Adele's song, they say that time's supposed to heal you.
I
honestly,
don't think time heals you. I think
Yeah,
that's so
and then
stupid.
she says,
it's
"But
like
I ain't done much heal." So
Why didn't you just sing the whole song to us?
I
yeah,
okay.
But
well,
seriously, I actually
within
think that's
that
like really
time that you're
stupid.
given, I feel like a
Hmm.
person is given the opportunities to think about what happened to them and experience other things. But I also feel like it's really hard because it's like what do I even do now, you know?
It's not that. It's like time heals everything, but time isn't actually doing anything. Like
It's
time is
you.
changing as long exactly. You're changing with time, but it's not time that's
Yeah,
changing you.
time is
You
just
know,
the unit
Yeah,
it's
but you
measured.
time
can use
passed
it to
by,
grow.
okay.
You
You
can
don't
use it
use
to
it. You know,
grow,
Yeah,
it
but
to
just
like
get
kind of
better.
happens.
time is literally just the unit. Okay, like we said at the beginning, it's just the unit. Everything else is
Yeah,
change taking
but I
place
mean,
thanks to you.
instead of just wasting it, you can use it to grow, to get better, to take care of yourself, you
But
know?
like even the
Exactly.
concept
And
of like
honestly,
wasting
let me
time.
tell you this. Like this genuinely got me through so much, and not just studying, but just like things I've had to do in general. Like no matter how like sad you feel and helpless, especially if you're like young and you don't really have anything to like do or just go by yourself. I think if every single day you do a small thing that your future self will thank you for, that will is an investment for your future again, and that you're going to be like, like, thank God I did this before. Do that
Yeah.
because you have so much free time on your hands. And instead of feeling sorry for yourself, go do something that's going to benefit you later. You know, your life sucks right
Yeah,
now,
Exactly.
anyways. So why not just,
make
use
it
the
better
time?
and do things you like.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Make the future better.
And like if you actually think about it, others are not so lucky. Like, we're here, like
Hmm.
every day people are dying, whether it's because of the pandemic, whether it's because of wars. Every single day people are
And you
dying.
have time to
And
focus
you're
on your mental
you're
health.
right here, like we're here right now making this podcast. People are gonna listen to
Yeah.
it. Like you're alive, you still have the chance to like take time and make the
Make
most
the
of your
best out of
life.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So use it wisely and just appreciate it, because I know it's stupid, but like time stands still for no man, you know?
Yeah. And we don't have much time left. Or like you never know how much time is left.
Exactly, you don't know. We're
It's
only
not like
we're only
yeah.
allotted a certain
Exactly,
amount of time in
exactly.
our lives.
And
And we need to
genuinely,
make sure
genuinely don't overthink the future. Don't
And we
overthink the
never know when
future.
it's gonna
exactly just
end.
savor
That's the
every
thing.
moment. Literally,
Because
savor
listen,
every single moment.
because when we think about the future, we think we're gonna be like we think we're gonna have the same mentality as we do as this at this moment. Like that's what we think we're gonna have, and that's why the future gets us so like over worried and everything. When
But
you really should just be
it's an
focusing on this moment.
it's inevitable and it's
Yeah,
universal truth. You
of
know you're
course,
gonna die, you know your time's gonna end.
of
But it
course.
doesn't mean you have to like stress over
Focus
it
on
and
it,
oh,
like
when am I gonna die? When is this gonna happen? When is that gonna happen? Just know, just go with the flow.
exactly. And like let's talk about like for example how things happen for different people at different times. Like for example,
Hmm.
it's not necessary
Yes.
for everyone to get married at 22. No.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Some people get married at
Yeah.
32. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Others
compare
And
yourself to people. People
exactly.
don't know you. They aren't you. Like, this is what I think about. Like, why would you compare yourself to someone that doesn't have the same goals as you, that doesn't have the same ambitions, that doesn't have the same dreams?
exactly.
They are
Mm-hmm.
not you. You can't compare two things that aren't similar
Aren't
in any
similar.
way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Like,
the
you
thing
really,
that
really
Ahmed
can't.
said, I'm sorry. When Ahmed said that you shouldn't compare your experiences to others, that is very true. Like something that my mom would warn me about that she experienced at an age of 20, I might have experienced that at an age of like 15 or even younger or maybe older. So whatever like someone warns you about something, this is why I believe that everyone should experience something for themselves. So they have a point of view
Exactly.
and a saying in that thing. And
Mm-hmm.
no one else can tell them if it's right or wrong unless that person experiences
Guys,
the
genuine
same
The
thing.
same
question.
thing, yeah.
Genuine
Oh, wait, can
question.
I
Do
say
you
something before? Can I
Yeah,
say
of
something
course.
before? Because it relates.
Of course. Yeah.
And like the thing that Lana's talking about, I feel like it's extremely well known. That's like, okay, like don't compare yourself to other people's. But I feel like something that's even more important that a lot of people don't talk about is that you shouldn't compare yourself to your past self. You know what I mean? Like
Of course
it'll
not.
be
Yeah.
something it'll be something that's like, oh well, last time I was in this situation, I did this and everything was fine. But you are not in the same circumstances. You know, things
Exactly.
change,
Yeah.
time changes, and you need to acquire new skills. And that's okay.
Like, some people have layouts for breaking up relationships because of the past.
Hmm.
Like, literally, they literally have like paragraphs written in their phone for like future breakups. It's like they're planning it. And they think it's always going to work because it's
They're
always the same.
manifesting it.
And
Literally.
it's not just that. It's that sometimes, for example, you get asked the same question, like let's say now and 5 years later, and let's say your answer is completely different 5 years later, and you just go like, what on earth did I even say that like 5 years ago? Like, how was I even thinking like that?
Exactly.
And
There's
then
a
they just
journal.
attack you and they tell you're a hypocrite, but you're not. You just
Exactly.
grew, you learned.
You just
It's
change,
okay
exactly.
to change your mind. That's the thing. Like you don't have to stay the same. You can do whatever you want, and you can change no matter what.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. And if people are gonna call you a hypocrite, okay. And there's this
Okay.
thing also about what Fatima
Exactly.
was saying. It's called a 5-year journal where like there's 365 questions and you answer one every day
Every day,
for
yeah.
5 years. But like each answer, like each question will have like let's say 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023 and
Same
4.
question for all 5 years.
Exactly. And then at the end of the 5 years you can see how different your answers were.
Yeah. And how your mindset changed, how you grew.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess before
Yeah.
we end today's podcast, I just want to ask you guys a question. Do you think age affects maturity?
No.
No.
No, not always, no.
Not
I
at
mean,
all.
Not
yeah,
always.
I agree.
Sometimes you have a way younger person who's actually more mentally mature than an older
Yeah.
person. Like I've
That's
seen this
Literally,
so much.
exactly. I've encountered 8-year-olds that are more mature than 50-year-olds, and it's
Yeah.
very, very common.
It is. It is. It's not about your age. It's about your mentality. It's about not how your
Mm-hmm.
brain grows. It's about how your brain
How you
works.
think and how you
Exactly.
behave.
Exactly.
It's not about your brain growing or anything. It's just about how you learn, or maybe how you were taught to even learn. Like some
Yeah, that
parents
could
Literally.
don't
affect
teach
it
their
too.
kids from an early age
Mm-hmm.
how to think, or how to think for themselves, or how to act sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's all about, but it's also about experiences. Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
a
Exactly.
kid may have experienced something in their life. That's why they're more mature than some people, some old people who haven't experienced it.
Yeah,
Mm,
true.
yeah. But like, I
And what I
guess maturity, it's like in certain aspects, right?
mm-hmm.
Like there
Yeah,
isn't
of course, yeah.
one standard for maturity. Like a very mature person could be very immature for a specific thing,
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
know?
but like in general, there are people who are more mature than others,
yeah,
even though they're
exactly.
younger.
Yeah, okay.
I wanted to say something. I think honestly, I think maturity is being self-critical of the way that you think and the way that you act, because especially like Lana was talking about how like parents teach their children to think. I think analyzing that and deciding the way that you want to think or the type of person that you want to be makes all the difference because like some people were raised by like let's say narcissists or like just toxic parents in general, and no matter how hard they try, there's always going to be that, narcissistic first thought or toxic first thought. But that doesn't make you a bad person. I feel like a lot of people like feel like it makes them a bad person, but it's you not allowing yourself to act on those toxic and narcissistic and immature thoughts that you have at the impulse of the moment that make you
Yeah,
mature. It's being
and
able
acting
to
You're
think
against
right.
about
them.
things.
Yeah, I actually agree. But the thing is, we're always told to believe in what we want to believe in. But then the second it's different from what they believe in, we're just not allowed to express ourselves anymore. And
Exactly.
it's
That
like, what
is
Mm,
do I
also
do now,
true.
you know?
Yeah,
exactly.
It's
you
really
tell me to
toxic.
live my own life, and you tell me to think the way I want to think,
But then you
but
But
you
then
control.
you
always have
judge
an
me in
input.
accordance to your
Yeah,
own standards.
Exactly. The second what you think is different than what they think, then it's just like, no, you're wrong, you know? You can't express your
yeah,
True.
feelings or your thoughts
Honestly,
anymore.
You're a
there's
That's
no right
child.
or
You don't know
wrong
anything about the
except by
world.
perspective.
exactly.
No, there are things that are inherently wrong and just morally wrong that you can't
Very
really
minimal.
debate on. But like
But like
someone
it's
coming
a
up to me and being and saying like, "Oh, rape is subjective. It's okay." And like,
no, no,
no,
no,
like
no, of
no,
course
it's
not.
not. There's so many things. And I feel like putting this out there and saying that like everything inherently good or bad is subjective, like to the way that you're looking at it, just gives like some people
No,
just
I
so
mean
much
like,
ammunition
you
to think
know,
that like what they think is okay and it's not.
no, no, no. Like
Yeah.
what I mean is like after a specific, rudimentary, elementary basis,
Hmm.
there is subjective.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Just clearing it up for the sociopaths.
For all you
Queen.
thinking murder is okay.
Yeah, murderers are watching our
Actually,
broadcast right
murder
now.
is like murder is
Debate.
something
No
that's like
debate about murder.
it can be subjective. No, it actually can be subjective. Like if you were killing a killer, like that's fine.
It's not murder.
Yeah, if you're killing
That's
someone trying to
punishment.
kill you.
But like, look,
No, if you murder
Socrates.
a murderer,
Socrates said something about this
No,
in
if
his
you
book, The
murder a
Republic.
murderer because
Wait. Socrates said something about this in his book. He said, like, for example, if there's a bad person,
hmm
how do we judge? How do we? Because to his bad friends, he's a good person, and to the good people, he's a bad person. There's
but
that
you
first,
just said it. You
and
just
then
said it. You
and then
said good
and
people, he's a bad
then
person, and to bad people, he's a good person. That should
and
be
then
enough.
if we establish a judge, and that judge is going to punish him, is he bad for punishing him, or is he good for punishing him? Because a good
No,
person
he's
shouldn't be able to punish
great.
anyone. See, like it's a very
No,
detailed
that's
debate. But listen, it ends in no
no,
answer,
that's
because
so
that's the
wrong.
beauty of
That's so
philosophy.
wrong.
It doesn't
A
end in
Ahmed,
an
good
answer.
that is
person,
not true.
no.
That's
People
not
try
true.
to
You're
say,
not
Like,
oh my
okay,
God,
arguing.
there's
You're
some
no
arguing with
things.
answer to
Socrates.
philosophy.
No,
Stop it.
no. Listen, okay, yeah, not personally to you, but like some people don't have the right to say what's wrong and what's right. But then some things like
Exactly.
murder are obviously wrong. You're not gonna
It's like
go and be
Yeah,
like,
no,
oh,
of
murder
course.
is
So
like
like
okay.
democracy
he
is so
wasn't talking about
stupid.
no,
Like
Socrates actually heavily criticized democracy. So he was actually put to death for his
uh-huh.
views, and he was put to death by democracy. I don't know what the Greeks were thinking. Like some
But as I was saying, that people always try to say, "Oh my God, I love philosophy because it doesn't have a direct answer." But it's not like that. You know what I mean? There are so many things in philosophy that have such simple answers, but people try to think of them in such a complex way that they make them complicated for
Exactly.
absolutely no reason.
True.
they
Like
blamed that on the
you're
philosophers.
saying that a judge punishing someone is good, but you have to make a judgment. You're in a position where you can do the best thing that you can do. And like if you're gonna get me a killer,
And so you're here today, but you may be gone tomorrow. And I do not say that maliciously. I say it with the greatest intention to help you understand that you do not know how much time you have left. Neither do I, neither does Razan, neither does Ahmed, neither does Lana. So use it wisely and don't waste it. Live your life to the fullest, savor every single moment, and just enjoy it to the max.